What was the reasoning behind this health insurance incentive for early retirees?
So that's something that the district has offered, I believe, I'd have to look exactly at the date, but probably since about the mid-'80s. The way salaries work in education is based on years of service as well as education. And so we receive significant budgetary savings when more experienced teachers retire and they're replaced by teachers with have far less seniority or are new. So it's kind of a tension, we have some great teachers who retire and some less experienced teachers who come on board. But from a budgetary standpoint, we need that turnover or that flow, that churning effect, if you will, in order to make our budget work out. So we offer an incentive that allows teachers to retire a year or two earlier than they might normally retire, and that allows us to actually save money. We're also allowed to pay for the insurance package out of what's called our management fund, and the savings is realized in the general fund, which is, of course, where we always have the pinch, especially now with the low supplemental state aid from the state.
So I guess what's the financial situation that the district is looking at in terms of what it's going to pay out with this health insurance incentive versus what it could potentially save?
So that's a good question for Kevin. It all depends on the numbers. It depends on how many people take it. The average teacher last year who retired versus the average teacher that was hired, we saved $33,000 per year difference there, and this is incentive generates probably half of that or less. And so in other words, we're kind of doubling, or we save twice what we expend on the program.
And of course, last year saw a number of teachers choose that early retirement incentive, and that really helped with I guess lack of funding from the state.
Yep.
Any idea kind of what the projections are? What the financial stress and strain could be like for this coming?
Really we don't, and that's one of our frustrations. We should know from the state a year and a half in advance what our spending authority is. So right now we should be planning for next year. We should have had that figure last February or March, so we should have spent now 8, 9, 10 months planning for the 16-17 school year. As it works out, we haven't ever found that. The last several years we haven't found that number out in advance, and so we won't know until sometime this legislative session, sometime in January if we're lucky, sometime in June if we're unlucky, but the fiscal year starts July 1st. So that's why it's really important that the legislature look at those dollars and set that as early in the session as they can. They should have done it last year. We needed them to do it early this year so that we can plan. It really is planning in the dark for school districts at this point.